All right, so Xenogears. There's the current state of Xenogears is pretty sad, okay? And I kind of wanted, I don't really understand why Square is refusing to really do anything with Xenogears. It's not like they forgot about it or anything, because it's still to this day, Xenogears still gets all kinds of merch and recognition and everything from Square themselves. Okay, they'll do absolutely everything with the game, then re-release it. They'll do everything except re-release it in some kind of way, whether that be just a straight port, a remaster, a remake, anything. They won't do anything with the game. Like, what the hell? Why are they just absolutely refusing to do anything and just being lazy with it? There could be a couple reasons. One reason I thought of, which I thought was kind of funny, but this is the least likely reason, but one possible explanation could be they just refuse to do anything with it just to be spiteful towards Takahashi. Okay, because as we know, Xenogears originally was proposed to be the Final Fantasy VII. Like, Takahashi pitched it as Final Fantasy VII, and Square, they didn't like that shit, so they said no and let him make it into its own game. So Xenogears became its own thing, and then after that released, Takahashi wanted to make another Xenogears game, and Square, again, this time they said no. So he left and created Monolith Soft, and now here we are. Xenosaga was also a failure, but then Xenoblade came around, a massive success. So I feel like Square is kind of just like petty and spiteful because Xenoblade is now doing so well. Maybe they're like, damn, if only we let him make another Xenogears, it could blow up into this very popular series like Xenoblade is right now. But I mean, without them saying no, we wouldn't have Blade right now. But anyway, maybe they're just jealous to see the success of Xenoblade, that they're just like, you know what, fuck Takahashi, we're not doing shit with Gears. Like I said, that is probably the least likely. That most probably isn't the reason, but it would be a funny explanation. Okay, another reason is they could be focusing on their other AAA titles, just pumping out Final Fantasy games or whatever new IPs they want to come up with. Maybe they're working on an Octopath 3, who fucking knows, Triangle Strategy 2, something. Square, one thing, I don't like Square Enix, I really don't, but one thing I can commend them for is how many like IPs they have, how many different JRPG series they have, and how amazing a lot of them are. Like, holy shit, I know they're still working on DQ12. We haven't heard anything about DQ12 in forever, but they do have a very impressive catalog, and maybe Xenogears just isn't really a priority. It's not really like high up on the list, like, oh, we need to do something with this. But at least if you're gonna not do anything with it, at least don't acknowledge it and just drop merch and shit for it. That's just insult to injury, but that's just painful. That lets us know that y'all are purposely not doing anything with it, but will continue to tease us and torment us with new merch and everything. At least localize Perfect Works or something. And the whole argument that they could just be focusing on AAA games like they're important IPs or new IPs doesn't really hold as much weight as you think, because look, Live Alive, it got re-released. Star Ocean Second Story R, I keep comparing that to Xenogears because they really are so similar. They have a similar art style. And Star Ocean Second Story R, that game came out, and look, it looks absolutely gorgeous. The whole 2D sprites with the 3D environment, I love that kind of art style. It's gorgeous. This game is beautiful, it runs great, it's a pretty popular title. And even back then, Gears and Star Ocean 2, okay, so Second Story R is a remake of a remaster. So Star Ocean 2, and then that was remade into, or Second Story R is a remaster of a remake. So Star Ocean 2 got remade into Star Ocean Second Evolution, and then Second Story R is a remaster of Second Evolution. So it's a remaster of a remake. But anyway, the original Star Ocean 2 sold around 1.09 million copies. So not that bad, especially for back then. That's a pretty impressive number. Most of the copies, of course, being sold in Japan. Around 780,000 of them were sold in Japan, and then 300 something thousand was in the US. So it wasn't popular enough to be re-released in greatest hits for the West, but altogether it sold 1.09 million, around there. And then Xenogears sold just over that at 1.19 mil. So look, Xenogears, even according to the numbers I found, and it's as of 2003, Xenogears sold 1.19 mil. If that is true, it sold more than Second Story, but Second Story got a remake and then a remaster. Was Star Ocean just that popular back then that it just, they can just easily make money just from remastering and remaking this game? And that's the thing. Do you know how much money they could potentially make if they just did something with Xenogears? Even just a simple port, I'm sure they would outsell the original Gears. I'm sure if they re-released Gears now, no alterations or anything, disc 2 still, disc 2, if they just re-release the game, no touches at all, I'm fairly confident it would outsell the original game. Because Xeno, just the name Xeno, the whole meta series, is more popular now than it ever has been. With Xenoblade, Xenosaga has majorly jumped in popularity because of Xenoblade, and mostly due to Future Redeemed with all the Xenosaga references and Easter eggs in there. Xenosaga has become very popular, so you already see how much Xenoblade fans want to play Saga and how much they've been asking for Saga. And some of them have been asking for Gears too. Okay, they've been asking for Gears as well. So just imagine if they did something with Gears, just a straight re-release, just a port, that would make, I'm pretty sure that would make a lot of money. Even if they did a remaster or remake, I'm sure that would make even more. All right, Xenogears has been deemed one of the best JRPGs of all time. It was definitely one of the hottest ones on the PS1 back then. Xenogears is one of the most influential RPGs of all time, up there, of course, ironically, with Final Fantasy VII. So a lot of RPGs we have out today were very much inspired by Xenogears. And I don't really just understand, do they not think it would be profitable to do anything with Gears? Again, like I said, they could just be focusing on other things since they have so many different series and just so much of a backlog that they could just be working on expanding a series or new IPs or whatever. But considering, like I said, Live Alive, Second Story R, they got re-released, I'm sure those weren't like big major projects. Star Ocean, the last game it got was Divine Force, and I think that was back in 2017. I could be wrong, I don't remember. I'll like correct myself on screen or something. But Star Ocean, it hasn't really been getting that many releases within the past decade. Let's say it's been had like 2 releases or so within the past decade, 2 or 3. So it's not like that's a big series they're focusing on. Live Alive, that's just one game. So how is it going to hurt them to do anything with Gears? I'm sure remaster, I don't know, maybe it would take a lot of time and resources because Gears is a pretty huge game. It is pretty ambitious. All right, this game is huge. Just imagine if disc 2 was fully realized. This game would be longer and a lot bigger than some of the biggest games out today. Like, this game would be massive. And I just now realized another thing that could be preventing it from like being re-released, I guess, it's kind of similar to Mother 3, where the reason it's not being localized is because well, it's probably because of copyright and licensing issues, because a lot of music, most of the music in Mother 3 is sampled, I guess, from other real world songs. Now a lot of them are public domain since a lot of it is classic music, but some of them as early as like the 80s and 90s are like music is being used in Mother 3. So there has been a lot. I saw this article, I read this article about why Mother 3 possibly won't ever get re-released, so I'll put that in the description since I think it's pretty interesting. A lot of people think it could be because, oh, in Taintain Island we take some psychedelic drugs and that could be an issue, or because the Magypsies are basically cross-dressers, that could be controversial as well, and all of these other things. But the most plausible one is just copyright issues, because it uses so many copyrighted songs and like real world songs that it'd be basically impossible to release that game without any fucking lawsuits or something. But for Xenogears, it is very heavy on religion and like philosophy, so maybe. And given the current climate of the gaming industry now, and how quote woke everything is, and how sensitive everyone is about literally anything these days, re-releasing Xenogears might not be such a great idea, like online at least. Twitter would lose their fucking minds. All right, so maybe it was just too grim for the, like, back then like all that like philosophical and religious talk and like darker themes were acceptable. Now people will cry at just the word of Christianity, seeing the name Jesus Christ in fucking Xenogears or something, and they'll start bawling. Like, it's so pathetic. But there are many reasons why Xenogears isn't really being done with. The Square isn't doing anything with Xenogears, like absolutely nothing, except for keep releasing merch. So just stop giving us merch. Just stop, okay? It's just painful. You're teasing us all this merch and still nothing about Gears. Or you know what, maybe they are doing something with Gears. Maybe they're secretly working with Monolith Soft and Takahashi to remake Xenogears, fully realize disc 2, but the Takahashi's under an NDA. He can't say anything about it until Square is ready to reveal it. I don't know, maybe this is the big moment, because it's kind of similar to Bandai Namco. It would be just an easy payday, an easy cash grab, not even cash grab, that because that has like a negative connotation, but an easy payday to just re-release the damn game, re-release Gears. I'm sure they would make a decent amount of money. I'm fairly confident it will outsell the original copy, because the Xeno series is just so much more well known now, and there's a lot more accessibility to games these days with more consoles. PCs are more PCs are more popular. The Switch, even though if they did re-release it, it wouldn't be on Switch because the next console's very close to coming out, but I'm sure the next Nintendo console is going to be very popular as well. They could also release it on PlayStation, so there's many different platforms to play it on except for just the PS1. So I mean, I guess PS3 too, because it's on the PSN store on the PS3, and Vita, I guess. So I mean, it already had multiple platforms, but you know what I'm saying. It'd be widely more accessible now than it ever was back then. Same with Saga. Bandai Namco, they'd be stupid to not do anything with Saga, especially with how much hype there is around Xenoblade and Saga right now. Now that we're kind of in like a null period where there's not really anything going on. Guess we got Xenoblade XDE, but other than that, there's not really anything big for Xeno going on. So it's like the perfect opportunity for Bandai Namco to do something with Xenosaga, and I really think they are doing something. They're working with Monosoft to do something with Saga. I can't wait. I'm so excited to see what comes after Xenoblade X. Like I told y'all, they're just giving us Xenoblade XDE to hold us over until the next Xeno something, until the next Xeno title. Like, oh my god, I can't wait. 2027, just wait. 2027, we're getting a new Xeno game. We just gotta wait a couple more years. I'm so excited. But other than that, that's really about it. I don't understand why what other than the Square is refusing to do anything with Gears, but I'm sure there's some reason, maybe some like business reason or something, most likely, that they're not doing anything. But from a fan standpoint, god damn it, Square, just do something with Gears. Like just so you know, the Gears gameplay, the Gears playthrough is continuing. All right, I have the next episode recorded already and ready to upload. I'm just waiting till I record more episodes before I drop that one, so it's like a consistent stream of Gears playthrough episodes. I haven't forgot about it. I've recorded one already. I'm just waiting to drop it. But I would be so much more inclined and motivated to play through Gears if it was re-released as in like a remaster or something, just as basic as a remaster. Okay, lower the fucking encounter rate, increase load times, and that's basically really all I need. Just make it faster and smoother, and then I'm more than ready to play and motivated to play. Just do something with it, Square, please, goddamn. But that's about it. See you next mission to play some goddamn Xenoblade.